Can you see my, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're on now.
Nice. Okay, and you can see my screen also, right?
Yep, we got it.
Cool. So yeah, today we'll be talking about building a ChatGPT powered Chrome extension. So we will be building a Chrome extension, and it will use ChatGPT under the hood. So yeah, let's get started with it. So about the talk, we will study ChatGPT from practical usage perspective. We won't be going in depth around what LLM is and what are parameters and tokens and all those things. We will not do. But what we will do is like, we will see like how we can use the capabilities of ChatGPT to do something practical with it. Again, yeah, it is not an ML or an LLM talk. We will consider like if ChatGPT is a bulb, we are not going to study how the filament and what kind of gases are in it, or whether it's an LED bulb or a normal bulb. We are just going to see like, okay, when you switch it on, the light comes, and when you switch it off, the light goes, something like that. So yeah, let's get started. The outline for this whole talk would be, first we'll introduce a problem. The problem will be in the space of how I have news articles that are there, and I want to summarize it and make it available, a nice summary available. But today ChatGPT can summarize a big articles, but the thing is like, yeah, you don't want to copy paste the whole thing and then go to ChatGPT and then get the things. So what we want is something much more nice UI problem, is a nice solution. First we'll start with ChatGPT and analysis of that to say that, okay, what all APIs are available, and what all other solutions can be there. Then we will come up with a solution on basically on ChatGPT to see like, okay, how we can leverage an extension to solve our problem, and then we will build the extension. If you don't follow along, it's okay. I will share the links of the code and everything with you later. But yeah, try to grasp the whole overall concept and see what else stuff we can build in the future. So yeah, the problem statement. So the problem statement is like, yeah, we have this kind of a big email, but sorry, big article, but I don't want to go through each of these lines and then know like, okay, what is happening here. I want to get something fast. So I want the summary to be something like this, like the ChatGPT should say like, the article discusses the declining popularity of remote work and challenge of remote work revolution. A nice summary that I want, right? So yeah, how can I do that? So ChatGPT can help us do that. Let's see what all things how we can solve it. First, that is ChatGPT APIs. So let's go to the documentation of the ChatGPT API. As you can see here, this is a documentation of it. To say like, yeah, this is the OpenAI's documentation to say like how you can use this API to do something. So the way it works is like, yeah, you have to hit this API. You need to pass your API key, and then you can say like, okay, you are a helpful assistant, and then you can ask your question and it will give you the answer. So let us just quickly and take a look at how this does. So yeah, this is what it is. Now, this is the first thing that you have to specify when using this API, saying that, okay, you are a helpful assistant, or you are a helpful classifier assistant, or something like that. You have to give the prompt for that. And then you have to say like, as a user, I'm asking you this question, saying that, okay, let's say, can you generate, or please generate a short summary.
Hey, Kevin, somebody just asked in the chat if you could actually share the links now, maybe just so that they can follow along.
Sure. So this is the deck for, so this is my presentation deck. You guys can actually go through that and then see it. And yeah, will that be good? Whoever asked it. what kind of packages is being written on? Yeah, we'll be using JavaScript, TypeScript, something like that, React.js, those kind of stuff. Yeah. Anything else that I'm missing out? Okay, cool. Let me continue. So yeah, so this is that. Now, in order to get to that, I need to actually go to my API keys. I'm going to create a new API key. This is in order to do this, you have to have a paid account. Again, this is optional, so you don't do this right now. I'm just giving you an example of how to do that. Otherwise, yeah, be ready to incur some costs. So test key. So this is how you create a nice key for yourself. And yeah, I will be just deleting this key. So actually you should not share this key with anyone. But yeah, I will just create it right now and then I will delete it soon. So that yeah, it cannot be leaked. And then let's say I have this article, I want to summarize this article. So what I will do is I will just copy this whole article here, and then I'm gonna and yeah, this is the whole article I'm writing. And then I'm just copying this whole thing, and then I will hit this curl command. Hopefully it works. Nope. Okay, I have to escape some of the codes here. So can I do that? You know what? Let me see if I can do something like this instead of that double quote and see if that works. Nope, this is not working. Let me try to take this whole thing. Let us see. This is the problem with live coding. Sometimes, yeah, but we'll see if I can get it. Then it's good. If not, then we will figure out something else. Let's see if I can get something like this. Let's see if this works or not. Is this correct? I think I have one extra thing here. No, that's good. No, but anyway, I will just make it some shorter and see if this works. Yeah. So this seems to be working, and this is the summary that it came out. Like Disney CFO this will step down for her role due to family medical leave of absence, and according to the company, this is what. So this looks good. So the API is working now. This is one of the way that you can actually get your get the summary for this using this kind of an API. Again, if you would have used some JavaScript to actually do that, then the curl command would have been much better. There were some issues because of which I was not able to do the parsing, so I could not put the whole article in it, but some important part I was able to put it. Now this is good, and now let me just delete this key. So now if I remove this key, then this will no longer work now because the key is yeah, so this incorrect key. So yeah, my key is gone now. So that does not work. The problem with this approach, so yeah, this is the way you can do that. You can also use a sample page to do something like that, like generate summary for this article. Again, this is where you can just play with it. Here you have to choose chat model, and then you can choose one of these models. There are some other models also. We are using GPT 3.5 Turbo. Recently, Turbo 16K has also been introduced. This is more for getting you kind of like APIs or functions, much better support for functions, but we don't need that right now. You can play with some of these parameters, but yeah, the idea here is like if you have this thing here, you can also put this here, and then if I submit it, so here's how the assistant gives you the response basically. So so this is good, but the problem here is that there are rate limits. When you are trying to scale this application to a lot of users, you will hit some of these rate limits. That is like, this is TPM, that is token per minutes, and this is RPM, that is request per minute. So in 1 minute, you can only make 3,500 requests. So let's say if your extension or your service becomes very much viral and people are using it, or people are abusing it by using it as a proxy to ChatGPT, then this will be your bottleneck. You cannot exceed these things. Now, if you have some enterprise account and you have relationship with ChatGPT, you can ask for this limits to be raised. But generally for us developers, this will be the limit. And second thing is that it is costly. So if you see the pricing for this, you can see the pricing for the ChatGPT, the 4K stuff. So it is 0.0015 for 1,000 tokens. So 1,000 tokens is roughly 1,000 words. So for each, for 1,000 words of input, the processing cost will be this much. And for 1,000 words of output, you will be charged this much amount. So again, it is not significant if you are just doing experiment for your own, but as soon as you try to scale it up, a lot more people uses it, then yeah, you will actually see that yeah, you have the that you will use some amount. So
So
this is, go
you,
ahead.
you said that it's 1,000 tokens is 500 words. That's not right.
No, it is 1,000 words basically, roughly around. It's not one to one.
It's like 500 words.
Yeah, it will be around 500 to yeah, it depends like what kind of words you are using. If you are using something like a Chinese words, and each token, the tokenization can be a lot more words. Like yeah, 1K tokens can just lead you like 200 300 words, but if you are using some English words, and it is around 75, it's not an exact math. So yeah. But again, if you want to be on the conservative side, yeah, you can go with 500 words. That's fine. Yeah. Any other questions that we had? Cool. So yeah, basically it is expensive. So that's one thing. But yeah, using this, you can do something like you have your app, or you have your extension, or you have your web page, basically client-side applications. What you can do is you can build a middleware where the secret key will be stored. The secret key should never be shared on the clients. The thing is like if you put it on the client's the client is in user's control. So a user can actually see what the secret key is. There are lots of tools you can use. Charts, you can use some other stuff. You can do Chrome APIs to just to developer console to see what all stuff is going out of the wire. And if the secret key is out, then people can use your secret key to actually make the API calls on your behalf. Like you will be charged, and then they will be getting the service. So that's a very bad practice. So you need a middleware to host the secret key and be the proxy. Here you can keep some rate limiting and stuff like that to say like, okay, is the traffic really coming from my server? How many calls have been made from this? Some kind of authentication you can keep. And then yeah, you can do that. And then once you have those things, you push it to OpenAI server. OpenAI server gets you the response, and then you can get that summary to your clients. So that is one way of doing it, but it is too expensive and not scalable, as I said, because of those things. But yeah, there is another way to also get it using chat.openai.com. So this is chat.openai.com. Now let me see what happened here. Yeah, so here also what I can do is I can say let me use GPT-3 only, but yeah, generate a short summary for the below article. And so yeah, so this is also something that generates an article for you. So the way that you can use this is like the user, each user has have their own chat.openai.com account kind of stuff, and you will use the user's account to actually make this kind of a call, get this response, and then show it on your Chrome extension on the destination page. To give a brief around this, let me give you another idea. So you have this Chrome extension. On the Chrome extension, you have this chat.openai.com, which has cookies and access token by which it can communicate with the server to get get whatever summary you want. You have Yahoo Finance, let's say, and there you have an article which you want to get summarized. You build a Chrome extension which sits on the user's Chrome browser. And that will actually read cookies and access token from ChatGPT, chat.openai.com. It will read the article from Yahoo Finance. And then based on these two inputs, what it will do is that it will make a question and redirect it to OpenAI servers using these access tokens. And then once you get the response back, the summary back, you are gonna put the summary on the Yahoo Finance page wherever you are. So this is a solution that we will be building today. Now, yeah, the implementation path that we will follow is like we will use an open source Chrome extension. We'll understand how it works and basically modify it and trigger it on finance.yahoo.com basically. Now I want to take a brief pause here and see if anybody has any questions, and take some questions at this point before we go into the practicals. Anybody has any questions?
Yeah, I'm just curious. You keep pasting the whole article. Can you not pass it by reference? Just like with
what do you mean pass by reference?
like just a link to the article in lieu of pasting like all of the content.
Sure, but so the thing that ChatGPT works is these APIs that work is like, yeah, you ChatGPT won't go to those websites and then download that content. In that context, ChatGPT cannot do that. Now, if you want your middleware to do something like that, yes, you can do that from your middleware, but ChatGPT will not do that for you out of the box. You have something like agents and stuff like that, which is a bit more sophisticated, which is available with GPT-4 and with paid account kind of stuff. But yeah, not in API format that has been exposed as of now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for the clarification.
Cool, thanks. Again, from time and whenever you get some time, and it will keep on evolving. I would encourage you to keep looking at the API stuff, which was I think somewhere. I forgot where I kept it. Yeah, but we have the API documentation, API reference here. So yeah, take a look at these APIs and see if right now it's not that, but yeah, if anything that comes up later, which says that, yeah, you can provide a link to something that, yeah, then it will be good. Yeah, you can use those. Any other questions? Cool. Okay, now let's get started. So the open source Chrome extension that we will be using is something that I developed for Yahoo Mail. Let me just clear out all of this. So this is one of the email that I have, and I want to summarize this email. And the way you can do that is using that Chrome extension. I will actually install that Chrome extension first and see how you can do that. So on ChatGPT, Yahoo Mail, search for this. You get this Chrome extension. You can add this to Chrome. And once it has been added, you can see this is the Chrome extension. And I'm going to reload this page. And then I'm going to hit ChatGPT 5. And you see this window. Now, this window that you see is actually it's just giving some JSON markdown format of what kind of email it is and what kind of summary and stuff like that. But if you would like better stuff, so this is the prompt that I'm sending it. Like, can you provide me with a JSON payload for the below email? Instead of that, you can just say, can you provide me with a short summary for the bill email. So this will be my prompt that I will be sending to ChatGPT, and this email and the content of this email will be what will be here. We will be extracting the Chrome extension extracts this content and sends it. So I will be updating this. And now if I hit this ChatGPT 5, and that's what I get, the summary. So it says the email contains multiple queries, stories, or questions with the respective summaries. This is it's too big. I can say like make it shorter. And yeah, this is a shorter summary. So yeah, this is how it is working. There are a lot of other things also in this thing, like yeah, you can compose and stuff like that. But yeah, that is feel free to look at the extension at what all stuff it can do. Now, the thing about this extension is let it go. So if you want to see this extension, and You can see this thing, and there is this website here. The website actually loads, gets you to this whole page, and it is MIT licensed open source stuff that I created. So you can actually copy this stuff here, clone it, and then yeah, we can look at what it does. So I will just copy it here. I had it before. Let me just go out and remove that extension. So you just need to git clone that stuff. And then I'm going to get into that. And this has package.json, and it has an npm stuff. So I will actually do npm install first. This will install all the packages needed for it to function. And once this is there, what we will do is we will open it in Visual Studio Code and see what is it inside this. So the way the extension works is it has something called manifest.json. Let me see where is that. Okay, so and yeah, this is the manifest.json. This is where the whole this is kind of the first thing that Chrome looks at it when it actually loads an extension. So this is the name of the name of it in a way, like name of the extension, and then this is like what it does, description of this, and then these are logos and stuff like that. The main thing comes from here, like this is the host permissions that it needs. So what this says is like I need permissions to actually access openai.com, all the APIs and the traffic that goes to openai.com. So cookies and basically all those things will be permitted. And as well as this will allow you to also make cross-domain CORS request basically. So even if you are not on openai.com web page, you can actually make it through the extension. The other thing is good, but yeah, these are some other parts. So this is a background, which is a service worker, which does the background.js stuff. The thing that this does is this is the actual stuff which actually communicates with the OpenAI and gets us that API call. And this is that popup.html, which actually you can change the prompt. We will not be looking into that, but we will look into this content script.js. The content script.js adds a button onto the web page basically. So yeah, that is the basics of it. And yeah, this is working on mail.yahoo.com. So before we move forward with this, let me try to see if this works for me or not. Okay, so what I will do is that I will uninstall the plugin that I just installed right now. So I will remove this from Chrome. Okay, and then I will see if this still works or not. So if I go here and no, let me see if, so if I do this, I cannot see ChatGPT 5 button here, right? So, so this got removed. Now what I will do is I will load it from my local copy. So in order to load it from my local copy, first of all, I'm gonna, if you see the package.json, there is a watch command here, which actually continuously keep on watching for source code changes, and then it will do npm run build. So I will just say npm run watch. So it will start watching this. And then what I will do is that I will try to load it here and see if it works or not. So in my Chrome extensions, I will say load unpacked. And then, I need to go to this demo extension, ChatGPT mail. This is where I have kept my stuff. I will go to the source. And I think it was here only. Okay. Should have a build. So this one, and inside this, you should have this Chromium stuff. So I will select this guy. So now that we have this one, which is from local stuff, I can see if this works here or not. So yeah, it does work. And this is from my local copy, not from the Chrome extension stuff. But yeah, so it seems like everything is working fine. Now, the thing is, like, instead of doing that, I want to put it on this page basically. So in this page, what happens is, like, yeah, I have this all these articles. My first goal would be to put a button here which says ChatGPT summary. Okay, here. So in order to do that, I need to first go into manifest.json, and I will make changes here to say, like, where should which all sites it should work with. So instead of mail.yahoo.com, I'm going to change it to finance.yahoo.com. And then this is name. I will just make it change it in the ChatGPT for yeah. Let me just get the biofinance. Anyway, yeah. And sure, create a generate summaries. Just run it down. Let it run it there. And so once I made these changes, I need to reload my extension every time. Let's see if it works or not. That is how it is not working. Okay. For some reason, my watch is not working. So anyway, so I have to run npm run. But yeah, so now this should load on Yahoo Finance and not on Yahoo Mail. So if I do here, this should not work, but it should work on Yahoo Finance. Now Yahoo Finance, what we want to do is, so here, if you see, there is this content script which gets loaded when you actually matches Yahoo finance.yahoo.com. So we will go to that content script and see what all stuff are there. So there are broad level two things that are happening. One is for compose, which we don't have to look at. This one is for compose kind of stuff. So we don't have to look at that, but this is for message read. So what this guy does here is, like, it waits for message read or compose to be loaded. And then on that, we are adding first add a button on message read toolbar. Then what we will do is, like, when somebody taps on that button, we add the ChatGPT container, which is here. and that will actually get the question, the inner text of whatever was there in my email body here. This is where it gets a text, and then we are mounting that ChatGPT component with that question. So this mount ChatGPT function is here, which actually takes which creates a div on the sidebar, and then it will actually render or update a card. So this is a ChatGPT card which will be rendered or updated. Now in this, so what we will be doing is it will be just changing this question, and the rest of the things we will use as is. Now, but just to give you a brief idea around how this card is formed, this is in JSX kind of stuff. So this is the card that is created. Here also nothing major is happening. The only thing is like, it actually creates another component called ChatGPT query, and there it actually takes the question as one of the argument. And this is what happens in ChatGPT query function. So in this function, as you can see, what we do here is the main thing that happens is around the question. So question is one of the state that we create, and it actually gets from the props that the state gets set. So when the props.question comes in, we are setting the question to that props question, and whenever the question gets set or whenever we hit retry, these things these are the things that that actually runs. So the use effect, this effect gets run, and what it does here is basically it creates a runtime socket. So what this does is like it actually creates a port on which it can listen to a background service running. Now background service is running in background.js, and what it does is that it communicates with ChatGPT to get you the question answer for that question. And this just communicates to that background service saying that I'm asking you this question basically. Okay, so on that port, I'm saying that I'm asking you this question. And then once it returns the answer, once it has the answer, it says that, okay, hey, I have an answer here. And the API returns word by word stuff. So as and when I have the text, I'm setting that whole text as the answer basically. And once it is done, I'm just setting done to be true. And yeah, when you ask another question or when the component gets unmounted, we this thing gets called, and that means the port is getting disconnected. And this is what happens in background service here. So this is where the browser.runtime on connect listener is added. So as soon as you your connection gets established from the content script, basically, you actually say like I'm listening for some stuff, and if the message command is delete conversation, then I will delete the message conversation. But if it is not, then I will generate answers. And generate answer will actually get this port on which it will post a message of the answer, but it also has question and the conversation ID and the parent message ID. You can ignore this for now. This is for continuation question, but yeah, most importantly, it has this question. And then the question, when you ask it, it will, the generate answers is here. Which has port and question here. So it will create this kind of a payload with the question, and it will use this this model, and it will send this API to chat.openai.com. And because we have ChatGPT opened in a separate tab, it has all the credentials needed to make this call on the browser. So and yeah, we also need access token in some format. So we also make a call to get the access token. So this is the call to get the auth session access token basically. And yeah, once we get the access token here, we make the call and the response has the access token. We actually use that access token to be set in this as well as all the other parameters. And then we get the response. And as and when we are getting responses, we are posting these messages back to the client. Now, if you see here, I'm using as server-side events kind of fetch. The reason for that is like LLMs can generate responses one word at a time, and that is how they are streaming it. The ChatGPT has given us a streaming API by which you can stream in that fashion. This provides us to reduce the latency kind of stuff, to perceived latency basically, so that the user doesn't have to wait for the whole thing to be generated and then get the response. So this actually does that. Again, if you are if some of this didn't you didn't digest it, it's okay. We are not going to touch any of this at all. You can in fact most of this code I have also borrowed it from someplace from another extension, which is this one. And again, but I have made some changes also so that it can take care of the conversation ID as well as the parent message ID. But yeah, we will not be changing any of these things. The main thing that we will work on is the content script index.jsx. So now here, what we will do here is, let us say instead of waiting for message read or compose, let me just remove all of this. I don't want any of these things. Yeah, let me just remove these things. And instead of that, I will write a new thing called wait for news tab. And what we will do is so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to observe for any of the changes that have been that has happened on the document.body. So equal to mutation observer. And then node list. I'm just going to create a node list and so I'm going to select all the nodes which have an article. This is an article which is of this kind of an article. So if I try to inspect this thing, you will see that it is actually an article with gas container as the thing. So this is the article that I will be inspecting on basically. If it has that article, then only it needs to actually trigger it basically. Okay, and then if my node list dot length is more than 0, that is that I have some articles, then I have to add button. I'll rename this, but yeah, this is what I will need to add. Otherwise, I don't need to add anything. In this observer, I will start observing. So I will say observer for target node, and also if any of the child list is changing, then also observe for any of these things. So most of this application are the Ajax application, and because of that, it won't reload the whole thing. It will just muted something inside the body basically. So this is what we will be looking for. So this is where if something changes, then we will do that. Now I want to rename this to something else. So I will just say add button on news tab. So I will just add the button on the news tab instead of adding it on the message read tab. Basically, that's what I'm just calling it here. And then here let me just let me just remove all of this, and I will first need to get my article nodes. Article nodes is equal to document dot query selector all, and again it's the same stuff, article gas container that I had here. I will just take all my article nodes, and then that equal to 0 is less than article nodes length plus. What I'm going to do here is for each of this article node, I'm going to inject a share button. Okay, const node is equal to nodes of type toolbar node is equal to article node dot query selector. Now what I will be doing is that I want to add it into this toolbar section just about this guy. So I will see what is the node for this guy here. So it is something like, yeah, gas share buttons is where I will add it. Okay, so I will just say gas share buttons inside that thing, and then I will add like if toolbar node dot query selector. If the ChatGPT button has not been added before, then that is when I'm gonna add it. ChatGPT button. Then I will add. So I will just copy paste on some part of that so that the typing becomes easier. So this is where I'm adding the button on the news tab. Okay, and then on click of that, I need to add the message read ChatGPT container. The only thing that I'm gonna change here is the question. Instead of putting the question as all of this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the question from this okay, yeah. So I'm gonna get the container, and inside that I'm gonna get the content node, which is the gas content wrapper, basically the node which has all of these basically. And then from that I'm gonna get the inner text of it, and then I'm going to mount it with a question for that. I guess a short summary for this. So this is what we will be doing here. And I think mostly it should be all good. The only thing is that the sidebar that we are mounting, wherever we are mounting this thing, that needs to change, because in my mail it is different, and in these things it is different. So the only thing here is like, this is where the append container is. So instead of this, I will put it in this place, which is this guy. So what I will be doing here is like, I will be removing all of this part. Yeah, I will remove all of this, like this, and then inside that I will be adding the newly created ChatGPT window. So that is what I need to do here. So instead of this, I will just say it should be outside. Okay, and in order to clean it up, I will say append container dot inner HTML is equal to nothing, and then and then I'm just appending the container that was created. Okay. So yeah, that should do the trick. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not using any of these, so I can comment this out. Anything? Let me see, that is throwing an error. No. So this should do the trick. Let's run npm run build, and then let us now load this thing here. Okay, so I do forget this all the time. What I need to do is anytime you actually make any changes, you need to go to my Chrome extension window and then reload this thing. And now let me go here and show this. And yeah, you can see this newly added ChatGPT summary button. And then when I tap on it, it should communicate with the service, and you can see the summary here. And then you can ask follow-up questions here. Yeah. So yeah, the CFO is stepping down due to family medical leave, with this taking over as interim CEO, and this is for challenges for Bob Iger. So yeah, anybody has so yeah, that's good. This is working fine. The thing is, like, yeah, if you want, you can extend it to news.yahoo.com, because well, in news.yahoo.com also you have kind of similar thing. So if I want to extend it to news.yahoo.com, it is very simple. I just need to go to manifest.json, and this I will also say news.yahoo.com. Build it, run it, reload it, run it. Now news.yahoo.com also has this button. And yeah, you can see what all stuff is that here. And similarly, you can do for sports.yahoo.com also. Again, button is here. So yeah, but well, it works the same on sports.yahoo.com also. So yeah, that was the thing. Cool, good that people liked it. So yeah, this is what we built it and showed the summary on the page. These are the resources here. Again, if you go into the extensions, you can see all of these. This is source code for ChatGPT summary thing that I just built right now here. And then this is the original source code for my Yahoo Mail stuff. And then yeah, this is the Chrome extension. And yeah, if you have questions and stuff like that, hit me up on LinkedIn or GitHub. Profiles are here. And yeah, that's all I had to share.
Kevin, thank you so, so much. Hope you see
Cool.
everyone in the chat saying the same. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, yes.
Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Again, appreciate you spending your Friday afternoon with Kevin and with OnRamp. Again, to access this recording, please just go into your OnRamp dashboard. I'll have it up by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. And Kevin, what else can I say? Thank you so much. We appreciate you. I'll be in touch via email to say thank you personally. Is there anything else that you wanted to say before we sign off?
No, yeah, that's all. Again, yeah, if at all anybody would like to raise a pull request against me, hit me up on LinkedIn. Feel free to, yeah, chat, yeah, the social profiles. And,
Beautiful. Thank you,
both these
everyone.
extensions are open source, so yeah, feel free to leverage it in whatever fashion you want.
Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful weekend. Thanks again, Kevin. Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Cool. Yeah, okay.